Okay guys, this is the first tutorial in a series of tutorials that I'm making for my video comm class. I've probably sent you to your computers to do work, and this either be a review for you depending on what class, or perhaps you know this already. Feel free to skip ahead if I've already covered it. I will also later post these videos to YouTube for anybody to use as reference material, or anybody that wants to watch them. Alright, I was debating how far back to go here, but I guess I'll just start with actually creating a folder to store your media in as you bring it onto the computer. Okay, and this is really important so that you can keep all of your media in the same place. Okay, everything that's associated with your project should be in your particular folder. Alright, so we're going to create a folder by right-clicking and going New, Folder. Okay, and we're going to name your folder something very specific. We're going to call it Group 1, and we're going to also specify what period it is that you are in. We'll say Group 1 period 3. Okay, now whenever we bring media, say I was bringing over this video and I wanted to pop it into my folder for later use, or when I open up Premiere in a few seconds here, we'll make sure to always have this folder selected for our projects and our media. Alright, so I'm going to open up Premiere by either going down here to the little toolbar Premiere, or I can go up to Premiere, the desktop icon, and I actually have it already open here. I don't want that. What I want to do is I want to open a new file. Okay? Now, the first window that will pop up always is this window right here, the welcome window, and it's going to ask you if you want to open an existing project or start a new project. Also, you'll find the last couple projects listed right here. Okay, if you don't see it here, you can always go to the open folder, and then you're going to have to know where you saved it, which is where we run back to the folder we just created. But we're going to click on New Project. Okay, now this is the general setup for your project. Okay, you can set up how you want to view video, whether you want it recorded in frames or feet, okay, or just a regular time code. I like to go by frames. Okay, and how you want your audio displayed, milliseconds or samples. You really don't have to worry about audio right now. Capture format is important. We use HDV cameras here, but if we weren't using HD cameras, you would want to select DV. Alright, typically if you've bought a camera in the last couple of years, it's HDV. But if it doesn't say HDV, it's probably DV. Alright, and you would select that here, and you want to make sure that you get this right because it will mess up your screen resolution later on. Okay, so we've selected HDV. Alright, and now we have our location. Location is also very important. You can see right here that it's set to Carpenter, My Documents, Adobe Premiere Pro, CS6. These are each of these slashes designates a folder within a folder. Okay, we're not going to worry about any of that right now. We're just going to browse. We have created our new folder on the desktop, so we can go to Desktop. Okay, and we will find the new folder which we just created, Group 1 period 3. Double click on that and select folder. Okay, so now we can see our location for where our project will be saved and all the Adobe Premiere files will be saved is going to be in our Group 1 period 3 folder. We also want to change the name. Always want to change the name. The reason for that is because if you leave the name as untitled here, and somebody comes along and they're lazy and they don't feel like choosing a new location for their folder, and they use your standard folder location, and you have put untitled here, and they use untitled, their project will save over yours. Okay, so you always want to change the name so we don't have any overlapping projects. Alright, so the next screen to come up is your sequence format selection. Okay, this is the video format that will be coming in. Okay, it controls if you're using different type of cameras. Alright, we know that we are using HDV, so we'll just use a generic HDV setup. Okay, 1080p is once again the resolution size, and the P24 is the frames per second. Okay, and this is also something you can control from your camera, or your camera will tell you. Our cameras run at 24 frames per second. And we want to rename our sequence as well. So we'll call our sequence the same thing we're calling our project. Always name your stuff. It doesn't matter if you're bringing in a clip, if you're naming a sequence, if you're naming an entire project. Always name it. Never go with a generic name. Okay. Alright, so this is the way the window appears when you open up Adobe Premiere CS6. Okay, and this is changed a little bit from CS5. They put the project window down here on the lower left, and they also have these large tiles, these large icons. Okay, which when we bring in media, we would see a nice little picture showing up here of our media. However, with our limited screen size, I think that it still works better and more efficiently if we move this setup around a little bit. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you how to configure these individual tiles into what I believe is the best configuration for this class. Alright, so each of these little windows within a window here, these tiles, or panels if you want to call it, alright, they all can be moved. They're by these two dotted lines right here. Okay, this can be moved and put up here if we want to. Okay, or we can go ahead and bring it back down. Your toolbar can be moved. Alright. Alright, and you'll notice there was something over here. There was an audio bar, and now I have erased it, the audio meter. There it is. I haven't erased it as much as I've just covered it up. Okay, so we'll bring the audio meter back. Alright, now I'm going to move the project test box here up to be alongside of my windows. And I'm also going to change the format from this, what will be a picture, to a list. And then you can do that with this list view option right here. Okay, so we can move these. Okay, I like to have the effects selected. Now, you can feel free to customize these windows in any way that is most comfortable for you. I find that this is the best option. We'll go into what all these windows do, okay, on the next clip. But for now, if you've gotten this far, if you've created your own folder, if you've selected your formats, if you've named all your files, okay, you're doing pretty good.